This is a video for the owner of Commando 3, Dan, and everyone at Yankee Creek Ranch. Well, what a legend this horse is. Obviously, you're watching the dressage on Friday afternoon, and just before I started, the heavens opened. I've ridden in bad weather before, but this takes the cake, Dan. It was like a monsoon. I remember in the warm-up, it was getting darker and darker, and the clouds were getting closer and closer, and I've got to give Connor credit. He really held it together. There was, if you remember 2 years ago at Bruce's Field when it was raining and people opened up their umbrellas and raincoats, and Connor can be a spooky horse, and man, he was so professional in there, stayed focused, and he put in probably his best ever dressage test. Obviously, it's the second time he's competed at the 5-star level. Our first time didn't go so well, but this dressage test is a very, very challenging test. Like, it's got movements that we only do for this competition, and there's only six of these 5-stars in the world, so you never quite know if you're ready or not. But Connor was fantastic. So we got 74%. The judges, they're a little bit all over the place. The judge on the side only gave us 70%, which was a bit harsh, and then the judge in the middle gave us 74%, and the judge on the on the quarter line sort of thing, he gave us 76, nearly 77%. So I suppose they're seeing it from different angles. I do think that there's actually still a lot of improvement to go with Connor in the dressage. Like all the dressage, all the trot work that you just saw, we got 9s and 8s, and then the halt we got 9, 8, 9, rein back 8, and then this walk was good, and then we lose a few marks in the canter work, and that's a little bit of his still inexperience and a little bit lack of training. They've got the flying lead changes, which are like really hard movement to do, and Connor does them, but they're not quite correct yet. So with more training, mate, he'll clean them up, and I think we'll start getting 8s and 9s for that. So it's my goal to have him in the low 20s this year. This was a horrific step up for Connor. He's never been tested at a competition like this, and man, he stood up and showed me that he has tremendous heart, tremendous spirit. I really felt like we had him very fit too. Like he just got back to the farm here in Pennsylvania, and I just went out to check him then, and he's lost a little bit of weight, but he's just muscly and toned, and he's always been a beautiful athletic horse, but the hard training that we did leading up to this, he looks phenomenal. So anyway, I think we need to put a bit of weight on him. I'm going to give him a very easy 3 weeks now, let him recuperate, and we need to bulk him up a bit with a bit more food, just because he lost a fair bit of weight at this competition. Yeah, it wasn't fun riding in this rain. It was. I remember going around the dressage arena, and I thought to myself, "All right, we're just going to tough it out for about 6 or 7 minutes." And I got to give the horse credit. There, many horses would have freaked out in this rain, and it could have been a disastrous result. And Connor stayed very, very focused and concentrated. If anything, it might have sort of distracted his mind a bit. And like I said before, this is some of the best work. So we were finishing in second place after the dressage, and obviously I was a little bit uncertain. We didn't have the greatest first 5-star at Maryland, but I was a bit smashed up, to be honest, by the time I rode him. So mentally, I didn't even think about that. I will say his last competition at Stableview, remember about 3 weeks ago we won the 4-star short at Stableview, and he felt so good there. And And if you remember the competition before that, he was terrible. Like he had 2 rails down and it was a 3-star. And, it's funny how maybe that was a good thing in hindsight. I really worked hard on him after that disappointing run at Carolina, and then he came out brand new horse at Stableview, and then he kept that improving and kept the feeling of form coming to Kentucky here. So we were the very last horse to go, obviously, on Saturday afternoon. There was a massive crowd there, and I think because I was an American rider, I mean, the cheering and the screaming and the yelling as I was going around the course was amazing. I have to say, Connor just showed true grit and guts and determination. This was by far the most grueling test he's ever gone through, and they say he sort of went to a place he's never been before, and he kept fighting all the way around the course. You only see about half the course on this video. The jump after this white gate here was a double of corners, and I got my line wrong a bit on the approach, and I gave him every reason to run off the jump, and he somehow found a way to get himself inside the flags. And I remember thinking to myself, holy crap, what a horse. He just snuck in there. Actually, I think I was wearing a helmet cam, so I think the girls that help me with my videos and stuff will probably put it online. I'll send it to you. He just snuck into the corner. He was green here, like he sort of misread that jump and didn't pick up behind, and the last skinny out of this water, he was very out of balance and out of whack and didn't pick up on it, and I nearly thought he was going to run out, and yet again he just really helped me out. Like he turned himself inside out to get through that that narrow fence, and most horses would have been a perfect excuse for them to glance off it. So very, very pleased with him. I think as time goes on, I'd like to ride him in a smoother way. Looking at the video, I was obviously trying to go as fast as I can, and I sort of yank him back a little bit with my hand. So I think in my future rounds, I'm going to see if I can do it in a little bit of a smoother fashion. I think we were the 4th fastest horse of the day. We had 6.8 time penalties. I did take the long way here. On my first ride, Bruno, I had a terrible ride through the direct way here. So this longer option here, where you sort of jump to the next jump instead of that brush corner, added about 6 or 7 seconds, I believe, to the time. So again, with the beauty of hindsight, I'm glad I took that option, because there was a lot of risk in the direct way, and him being a little bit inexperienced at this level, I thought it was a safer option. And had I had taken the direct way and still cleared it, the result would have been the same. So it was now that we've got the wonderful hindsight, it was probably a good move. Now the next 5-star, now that he's got this big one under his belt, we probably won't be looking at a long route. But so this is about 9 minutes into the course. The course was 11 minutes 30. He was getting a little bit tired, but still, look, his ears are pricked, and it's a tremendous angle through that hedge there, and he's going great guns. Funny enough, the next water jump you'll see in a minute was probably the most influential jump on the course. It was a very, very challenging jump into water to a sharp turn to 2 skinny brushes, and the horses are dead tired and the riders are going fast. And again, to Connor's credit, he sort of misread the last part of the last narrow, and he just showed so much determination. I mean, he pushed himself. Luckily, it was a brush fence, and I mean, it felt horrible, but again, he had every reason to glance off the jump, and man, he is a courageous animal. I had a good ride in here, and then this is supposed to be 2 strides, but he sort of cut down here, and he ended up getting 3 short ones and stuffing himself through that very, very narrow skinny. It's a I think a reflection of the horse's character and also a reflection of all the training we've done. You know, I think at the beginning he wouldn't have jumped that jump, and we've trained those narrow fences a lot. This is where the horses got really, really tired. And you can still see, him labouring, but his ears are pricked and he's still fighting for me there. Very, very pleased with him. He just got home today and he looks happy. He's pulled up very sound, I believe. My plan is to give him a couple of weeks, very easy. I think not to let him completely down, but he needs to recover from this. This was a huge, huge test. We're towards the end of the course here. From memory, actually, I lost a shoe here. I remember him landing after this jump and slipping a bit, and so he lost it. He was slipping around a bit. He lost his left front shoe, but lucky for us, we're only 2 jumps from home. A lot of the horses looked a lot more tired than he did, so I don't think our time penalties were that he's not fast enough. I was probably setting him up a lot before the jumps, too much maybe, and then I think I could go faster on him at the beginning of the course, and then obviously we took that longer option at the water jump. However, that was a heroic effort on a sort of a first-time ride at 5-star. Usually at your first go at the 5-star, you sort of just nurse them around, and Connor proved his greatness. Show jumping day, like I said, he recovered very, very well, and I exercised him in the morning, and he felt good. And this was by far the biggest show jumping course. And if you remember, it hasn't been smooth sailing with his show jumping. He's a good jumper, but you remember we had a couple of rails down at the 3-star at Carolina. We had 1 rail down at Stableview, and we took him down to Ocala, Florida earlier this year. And actually my jumping coach, Peter, jumped him, and he's a little bit spooky and distracted, but I actually think doing the cross-country before the show jumping might have made him better. Like, it sort of got a little bit of those nerves out of him. He was a little bit more on the job, and he put in a spectacular round. So I think we need to let Connor recuperate, and then I'd like to think that we've have maybe a big 5-star towards the end of the year, and then mid-year we might have another big event on the horizon. I'm just going to make sure that he's recovered well, get the vets to check him over and make sure he's in good health and all these ligaments and tendons are good. But I'm expecting him. He's been pretty healthy all the way up in the lead up, but I really think that he could be at this level for a long time, and ultimately could be one of the great horses ever. If this is our first go, we came second to the Olympic gold medalist. There's a lot to be proud of, and anyway, mate, I'm very, very grateful for all your support. Obviously, horses like this are a needle in the haystack, so always grateful for your support and believing in me, and to finish in second place is good. But make no mistake, mate, we want to win, and wherever we're aiming for him next, we want to try and be the winner. But I think it's time to back off him, give him a couple of weeks to recuperate and freshen up, and then you never know where this horse can take us in the world. Anyway, mate, very, 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 very happy with him. He's a champion, and I think he's the new star of American eventing. Anyway, I'll check in with you again after we give him a bit of time off and get him checked over.